we transitioned to Matty E yet?
I think this is a great time too because realistically, if we're talking about one Matthew Bartholomew Eberflus,
That's his real name?
I don't know.
Jesus. Why do we nickname everybody Bartholomew?
It's a good middle name. I got to name a son that. If I have a son,
Don't you dare.
middle name Bartholomew.
Don't you dare.
Middle name
Don't you
Bartholomew. No.
I'm gonna roast him.
Middle name Bartholomew. Great, dominant credit
Great
score.
dominant
Credit score. He's starting off with a 600 just because of the last name and middle name alone.
There's so many things I want to say to that. Never mind, dog. Never mind.
Here's my question on Matt Eberflus, and it's not even a defensive question. I think the defense played poorly. There's a lot to look at from the defense, but realistically, defense gave them 20 points yesterday. And that is what it is, right? Like you should win a game when your defense gives up 20 points. They lost with 27. Justin Fields throws the pick six, right? We're through 2 games now. We've questioned hustle. We've questioned intensity, and there are 0 takeaways for this team. There were more pressures yesterday than there were in week 1. I think that he dialed up. They blitzed about 3% more yesterday, basically. But realistically, 3 of the 4 parts of your principle we're questioning. And the 4th one is smart. I mean, take that for what you will. To me, my question marks on Matt Eberflus are, is he the man that can be an elite leader for this team? Because right now, we're through 2 weeks of this season, and those principles that seemed so prevalent in year 1 with a bunch of dudes that were, you have to take this into account as well, a bunch of dudes that are fighting for their jobs, a bunch of dudes that are out of the league right now. They're like, this is my shot at the NFL. I'm going to do whatever coach say for me to stay on this team, except for Isaiah Marset Smith or whatever that mug.
Can I ask you this, though? And this is legitimately, before I answer that question, I heard today on the radio, ESPN radio at that Ryan Poles did not choose Matty. He was kind of chosen for him a little bit.
I don't believe that.
I don't believe that, but I have to ask.
I don't believe that because one, Ryan Poles, this is not the Ryan Pace situation, because if that was the case, Ian Cunningham wouldn't be here.
Okay.
We've never had an assistant GM in our lives.
Okay.
Ryan Poles is making decisions up there. And you can feel it. You can tell the building feels different.
Okay.
I don't believe. I think that he picked.
Did you hear that though?
I didn't hear that. I don't know what show they said that on. I didn't hear that. And maybe they were speculating on it. But
no, he said it like he knew.
Realistically,
tenured guy. I'm gonna talk to you off.
Matt Eberflus to me. Well, I mean, he said it on a 50,000 watt radio station. It's out there. I mean, it ain't like you hiding it from me. Like who said it?
He said Bill Polian hired Eberflus.
Bill Polian.
And that's what that was. Hey, listen, that was an actual statement. He said Bill Polian hired.
Who said Cap?
It was not Cap. I don't think it was Cap. It was like the show after him. I just kept it playing.
Carmen Yurko?
It might be.
I don't know. I don't think Bill Polian did the hire. I don't because here's the thing, right? Like, listen, if that's the case,
Polian gave Poles a list to choose from.
Polian gave Poles. He was there with Poles. But remember, all these people that were – see, this is the part where people have revisionist history. We got the Polian gave Poles is crazy.
You wildin', dog. You wildin'. You know you wildin'. You know you wildin'. You know you wildin', dog. Hey, man.
Hold that, dog. Hold that. I mean,
you know, bro, what are you doing?
I got hold. Hey, listen. It's being held.
Now, Bill was a part of the Poles hiring, but he was, to me, this is a Poles hire. Okay. This is who he wanted, because realistically, he could have went and got his guy too. Remember, he could have went and got Eric Bieniemy. He was available, and he's from Kansas City, and he's still going to be available next year.
So here's the thing. Here's what I have to say about Matty. Ultimately, I always believe that your head coach in any situation has to be a has to be a leader of men for sure, right? That's the one of the prime earmarks of a good head coach. There's no leadership happening here.
Yep.
There's no turning. Like I said, I made this comment. It was kind of funny, but I meant it's like trying to turn the Titanic. Realistically, right? It's trying to turn the cruise. It's a slow turn.
Yeah,
it's not even happening in that way. I didn't see dramatic difference between week 1 and week 2. I didn't. I saw the same stuff. Realistically,
I saw more pressure from the defense.
And that's what he does well.
I saw a legitimate drive I saw 2 legitimate drives down the field, which is one more than I saw versus the Packers.
It's just one extra one, huh? Just one extra one. All I'm saying is,
I didn't say it was great improvement. I just said it was improvement.
When you don't have leadership and when you don't have someone actually like writing, like putting feet to the fire, I would say.
Yeah.
At this particular point, I've said it before. I say it again. If I am George, I am looking at Ryan differently. Right now, my team is on the national media being called the worst team in the league.
Yep.
My team should not be called the worst team in the league after we've made all these so-called positive changes with you at the helm. So there's 2 things that are going to happen. And I promise you, it happens every time. They're either going to blame it on the QB not reading it, and they're going to have the film to show it, or they're going to blame it on the OC. 9 times out of 10, though, in a situation like this, they get rid of the QB before they get rid of the OC.
But how many
times have we seen it?
We just saw it in a major way in Miami. Like,
oh, that's different though.
Not really. It's the same situation.
It's different.
A defensive head coach that didn't believe in the quarterback and was looking to bring somebody else in.
No, they got
rid of that whole staff.
Hold on, wait. They legitimately tried to get rid of.
They tried to get rid of.
They got fined for trying to get. They tried to get Brady in that joint.
No, and they brought in an offensive mind.
And
now Tua can play.
All I'm saying is this. I think that happened by chance.
Dallas too.
That happened by chance. But they were trying to get Brady.
When they brought in Flores the first. Yeah.
Hey.
When they brought in Mike McCarthy in Dallas.
It was
you had a defensive head coach at the helm. You got rid of him. You got Dak Prescott. You got Dak Prescott on offensive mind. Now listen,
but Dak Prescott is a whole different ball. It's a whole different league compared to Justin Fields. Though,
I think
as a QB.
I think
think Dak is mid, and Dak is a way better QB than Justin 100%.
Fields. I'm not saying that, but I say this. Even heck, you want to talk about a terrible situation? Daniel Jones survived his coaching staff. Daniel Jones survived 2 coaching staffs.
2. Daniel Jones is out of it.
And the
not if he keep playing like that.
The GM quit before we fired him. Like he left.
He survived the GM change too. Yeah.
Daniel Jones is out of it.
Hey, listen.
Okay.
Whoa. But
hey,
the thing is,
time out.
He's there right now.
No. 3 weeks ago, right. Daniel was that dude though. 3 weeks ago, Daniel was that dude.
Hey, hold on. He's that dude compared to Justin right now.
No.
Exactly. That's all that matters.
I just look at it. Justin, I think to me, if you were gonna make a change, he will survive this coaching staff because of how many of the offensive ineptitudes we talked about with Luke Getsy. And realistically, because here's the thing: at the end of the day, Ryan Poles don't make the same mistake that your predecessor made.
I can't do that.
You can't sit here and say, "Hey, I've got this quarterback on my team that I have seen that I feel is better than what I think he is," even if you don't, right? And I think that the head coach and the coaching staff might be ruining him.
I'm gonna give you a better question.
Hold on to this mug. We're gonna move on from the quarterback. But we're going to hold on. I think the Bears did that. And realistically, as bad as Mitch was, and Mitch is a bad quarterback. He just is. He's a solid backup.
He's better than Justin right now.
He's a solid backup, realistically, right?
I can't even disagree with that.
He's better than Justin right now.
I mean,
his tenure with the Bears as an offensive player was better than Justin's right now.
For sure. Right now, yeah. I mean, he
and guess what? Y'all can say anything y'all want about the defense. Defense don't throw that ball.
I mean,
he's a better passer.
He didn't either, realistically.
He's a better
player.
It looks really nice when you're starting at the 50.
But
he don't. Hey, Allen Robinson got 2,000-yard seasons off him. How many yards DJ Moore gonna get? How many yards DJ Moore gonna get?
Starting at the 50.
How many yards DJ Moore got?
DJ Moore got 100 yards yesterday.
He got 100 yards.
He got 107 yards yesterday.
If he gets
that's why you need to give him the ball more than 6 times. No, But I think realistically, when you're looking at where the Bears are right now, when you look at what Justin Fields has done to this point, right? I would sit there and say, you know what, maybe I should have put an offensive mind with him and not the dudes that I thought was the best leader. I'm going to go get an Eric Bieniemy. If you feel that Flus isn't doing the things right.
You got to do it.
That's what the league is doing.
Well,
That's what the league is doing.
No, because here's my thing. I'm fine with Flus if Flus is an elite leader. My question is Flus an elite leader?
No.
I'm 100% fine with Flus if he can come out and be an elite leader. But I'm sitting here 2 weeks in and I'm questioning 3 of your 4 principles.
They said bitch had weapons around the fields.
Hey, what Coach say, kid? The ops for real. What I tell you? Y'all be looking at me. The op is sitting right next to Pat.
Hey, check this out.
The op is sitting right next to Pat. It's not me.
Hear the storyline.
Hey, listen.
Kid gonna start some fire.
Listen. If telling the truth means I'm the ops, shoot me.
Nah,
all right. Listen, shoot me. All right.
Be mad, I'll be outside. I'll be outside.
If the truth means I'm the ops, guess what? Shoot me at this point. Because at this point,
you said like Snoop Dogg and Baby Boy.
Shoot me. Because at this point, y'all lying to yourselves. Y'all lying to us. But the one thing I will say is, and this is going to be a real like black eye for Pose. You did not get your potential offensive juggernaut, offensive coach, and that's what the league is doing. And I think it's already there. The statistics there. The statistics prove it.
That's my biggest concern because you know what? And listen, if Flus is an elite leader, I'd be fine with it. I thought he was in year 1. Year 2 to start off. Listen, we 2 weeks in. We got a very different conversation 3 weeks from now, right? Hey, we have a very different conversation next week if all of a sudden you pull a win out of your butt and go beat the Chiefs. Because I'm going to guarantee you this right now.
Depends on how
everybody in Chicago has got this 0-3. We on to
Depends
who we
on
play
how
week
win.
4. Who we play week 4? No, if you win that game, because here's the thing. No matter what, you did something to beat Andy Reid.
If our defense shows up, and we do the same
if
thing.
Our defense shows up, I'm in Flus's corner.
If
We got Broncos week 4. In my mind, we on to the Broncos. Like, I would love to sit here and tell us that I have confidence that we're going to win this game, but I don't. I feel like the Bears are in trouble to start this season 0-3, and it's a real issue because how you play your defense, right? Lance talked about this today where he said basically that your defense is set too far back. You're not pressing receivers off of the line, and if you do that with Pat Mahomes, he's going to 110% pick you apart. Guess what? I'm expecting a cook show next week. You find a way I don't care what way you find to win that game. You find a way to win that game, I bet I'm going to shoot you a little bail. You bought yourself some time. Them the world champions, right? Even how they won that game, Detroit beat them week 1, right? Yeah. We always just like, Nagy. That Nagy. He's back at it again.
All I'm saying is, this man just mentioned it, Jay Grizz. I just saw Baker Mayfield look pretty good yesterday.
Oh yeah, no, I'm expecting
Patrick Mahomes to look freaking good.
But what I will say is this, right? And this is the part that people are
freaking good.
Here's the part that people aren't talking about now.
He's gonna win another.
No, I'm with you. Hey, look, I'm with you on that. But I think here's the part that people aren't talking about when it comes to what we saw from the defense on Sunday. Yes, the Buccaneers were able to move the ball down the field. They scored what? 2 touchdowns? 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals. If I have the offenses advertised, I should win that game. If I have the offense that I'm supposed to have, I should win that game.
Hey, listen,
I can't get 24 points.
You got to win.
Like that,
you gotta win. I don't sit there and look at that as, oh, you only got 24, 27. You gotta win.
But, no, I'm with
and
you.
Because you were controlling the game most of the times, I think the urgency.
Well, they weren't controlling the game at all versus the Buccaneers. The time of possession, they were down what, 15 minutes time of possession. I mean, like
my type of game.
You were they slowed the game down. They made that Bears defense stand out there in the sun. That's another reason why I give the Bears defense a little bit of credit, because your offense wasn't keeping you off the field at all. You out there running the entire time. Now look, you got to get off the field on 3rd and 14. You just do.
I know
too many times your third downs are killing you. There's still issues there, but I just look at the situation that this Bears team is in, and I'm sitting here questioning the leadership that's in place more than I'm questioning the play that I'm seeing on the field because I see bad teams. New York's a bad football team. Brian Daboll says we got to throw this down the field.
But let's be honest.
Arizona's literally a terrible football team.
I don't even know what's happening there.
And they're sitting there going, we got to throw
Who's
this
there?
football down the field. Terrible football teams have quarterbacks that are putting up 300 yards. That, to me, is where I look at Matt Eberflus. At some point, you got to walk past and just Denzel Washington that, John, right?
True.
Hey, keep calling the game like that. I'm taking over the play calling. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just to send a message on.
Let's pick this apart this way, though. Did the defense look better in game 2?
Yes.
Was the O-line better in game 2?
Yes.
Yes.
They didn't have no sacks. 17 pressures. They pressured Baker on half of his dropbacks, basically.
The O-line looked better. The defense looked better.
Yep.
Our QB did not. That continues. We're not going to be talking about Flus if that continues. Y'all got to understand the trajectory is if the pocket is clean, the time is there for you to make the throws. I got more film of DJ Moore going like this. We're not going to be talking about Flus. Now, should we be talking about?
I'll still be talking about Flus depending on what the game plan is.
Yes. Should we be talking about a different story? I'm not here to sit there and say, oh, we need to be. I'm telling you what the narrative is going to be and what's going to happen. Because right now, you go on YouTube, you turn on your TV, anything like that. We are not talking about the Chicago Bears as a whole. They're talking about Justin Fields right now.
100%.
And rightfully so.
What?
But guess what? Next week, if it's the same and the O-line is just as good and the defense gets better, guess what they're going to be talking about?
Oh, Justin's got to play.
Justin Fields. Yeah. Guess what happens in week 5 if it's the same situation? We're talking about Justin Fields. So what I'm saying is like
quarterback though.
That's
every quarterback.
What I'm saying is like even if we should be talking about Luke Getsy, even if we should be talking about Matt Eberflus, the narrative has already started rolling. He has to have a good game for himself to change this narrative, or all the pressure is going to be on him. If he's not incrementally better his next game, it don't matter what else happens. We're going to be talking about him, not us, but the narrative, national media. If we don't see improvement, because we saw the line get better, they gave you 5 seconds in the pocket, we counted it.
Baki dropped us a breaking news in here. Safety CJ Gardner-Johnson has torn his pec and is out indefinitely and potentially the season.
No,
that sucks.
That does.
That's tough.
Well, they were not gonna make it anyway. At this point, but like getting back to the point, like that's why I told you all be careful about the narratives that's coming in. Be careful about that because once that train starts rolling, it's gonna take a whole lot to combat that.
No, because that's just playing quarterback, though, right? Like if you
well, you've never had success though.
Yeah,
it's easy.
I mean, listen.
Baker has only. You know why they killed Baker? Because he had one team when he was like, "Oh, you had all these weapons, you do anything with." No one ever looks at the fact that he had 5 different people. You can say whatever.
That's not why they killed Baker.
Oh, they kill him for a lot of different reasons.
But that's Baker for overthrowing a lot of receivers.
Nah, they
which he still does.
He still does. Every QB does.
Yeah.
Every QB does. But guess what? Baker has actually made the most of his situations as it's come along.
But Justin ain't even got that. I was the first person to say. I mean, it was the same way in Cleveland when he got the weapons. As long as he don't mess it up, he was gonna be okay.
But Justin don't even got that.
The only thing that
Justin don't have
I will say. They talk about Getsy and all these people, and I know you brought up Eric Bieniemy. I would have went out like you could have went out and got Kellen Moore. You could have went out and got you could have.
That's why I think. But
now it don't matter because now we're all looking at Justin. Whether it's Ben Johnson,
Ben Johnson, and one for Detroit, because he was finna go somewhere. Detroit would tell him they're putting up 31 a game.
Yeah.
So it's like there were other options out there, and we settled on the dude they settled on the dude that's sitting behind the dude that's calling the plays.
But I think the dude that was calling the plays was terrible.
I'm not disagreeing.
The OC of the Packers was terrible.
I'm not disagreeing.
LaFleur?
No, Nathaniel Hackett.
Not.
They ain't take the OC. No, I think here's the thing, though, and this is for me why I look at leadership. Right? Who picked Getsy?
Ryan.
Matt. Your head coach picked your team.
Oh, yeah. My fault.
Like, if we're sitting here talking about scheme and issues with scheme, and again, first time offensive coordinator, all of that, right? Like, Matt, these are the guys that you wanted. Whatever we can say about Justin Fields, I can tell you one thing. I don't know if he's regressed as a passer in 3 years, but his footwork, footwork that was advertised,
his footwork is sloppy.
worse to me.
It's gotten worse.
Footwork
on top of that,
He goes off a different foot, but it looks
It looks worse.
It's footwork to me that speaks to, hey, I got an offensive line that can stand in front of me and give me a second. And you don't have that now. Last week you had that, right? And maybe that'll continue throughout.
I
had it. I just think that realistically, you can't wait on leadership to develop. I can wait on talent to get where I need it, especially if I've seen Justin Fields have 1,000-yard rushing season. I can wait on that.
Turn Jordan's mic up.
He don't know which one Jordan Mike is.
I'm not back here.
Why'd you assume he knew?
Because MacGyver was sitting
he
there.
might have just been leaning back.
No, because MacGyver was sitting there listening.
But
Yeah,
I mean, realistically, I can wait on Justin Salin to develop.
I can't.
Or I can go get another quarterback whose talent can develop. But how long are we going to wait for Matt Eberflus to become that guy?
He only has one season.
Well, let's just say hypothetically we do go out and get Caleb Williams. We take this season again,
Why are
and
we
then we get Caleb in the building, replace Justin Fields, get draft capital from him, and then we do the exact same thing to Caleb.
Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why I was big on trading Justin Fields?
What, this year?
I was big on. It was a theory. I said it had nothing to do with Justin Fields. It had everything to do with our organization and where we were. Our organization was not in the position to do everything they needed for him.
So you'd rather see him thrive somewhere?
I'd rather they had traded him away and do a full rebuild. We have never done it before.
Gotcha.
And here's the thing. You don't have to be a football savant to know that if you've never done something before, you're gonna have some trouble. It's gonna be some growing pains with this. We've never done this before. We've never had an organizational structure like this before.
Yeah.
So if you've never had any of this stuff, you have to give yourself a full clean slate. You don't give yourself that opportunity with Justin. Now, most people say, well, Justin's ran for 1,200 yards, stuff like that. But there was still so much to prove, and we didn't have the time frame for him. Now, look, we 2 games in. If this doesn't improve, what are we talking about now? We're talking about tanking anyway. We're talking about tanking, and we're talking about going to get a new
tanking.
But we're talking about being in a situation where we don't have him in the first place. We're talking about him being a backup, them not extending him just being a backup while they go draft another QB, which has happened before. Like you're talking about that situation, and that's gonna kill his confidence even more. Yeah. It just wasn't. We as an organization weren't in the place to see him thrive. We just weren't there yet. I think Ryan Poles went out there, made some moves that like really got us amped up.
But some moves that you take away the excuses.
But Justin Fields hadn't developed yet. We hadn't developed our talent. It doesn't matter if I have a Ferrari over there if I don't have a driver.
Yeah,
for it.
But that's the problem, right? That's where it's back on leadership. That's where you look back at leadership and say, listen, I'm giving you all of this stuff. Heck, a bag. You get these weapons to Brian Daboll with the team he got with Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is going to
just swap out.
He's going to make it competitive.
Yeah.
This is why I look at the scheme. This is why I look at the system, because I see enough here for you to figure it out. And I see, yes, is Justin Fields missing passes? 100%. But you know what? It's like Darnell Mooney said, and I think that he really said it best. You give your playmakers a chance to screw up. Even if Justin throws every single pass to DJ Moore where he does this, that's 9 passes. You traded the first overall pick to throw somebody 9 passes. That sounds stupid. That sounds idiotic. You should have 20 passes schemed.
But you have to be able to read it. You have to be able to develop it. You have to be able to throw it. You see how we just broke this down? We just missed him 33. You see how we just broke that down?
Oh, yeah.
When my QB is no longer the issue, then I can sit there and talk about, hey, he needs to get this much targets. I have to give Luke Getsy the benefit of the doubt and say, hey, he's probably not scheming them this much because Justin's not seeing it. And because there's still enough proof to say that Justin's not seeing it, I can't sit there and
how much stuff do Daniel Jones miss?
I want to say
Daniel Jones miss all the time.
Hold on. Totally. I get it's
how much, but
it's an appropriate analogy.
But
right?
what I'm
but
saying,
it's a totally different organization.
What I'm saying is, right? You want to get better. You want to get better at something. You want to get better at shooting threes, right? I'm the coach. I see you want to get better at shooting threes. I tell you, go shoot mid-range jump shots. How much better are you gonna get at shooting threes?
I get what you're saying.
How much do we see Justin get put in a position where he had to read defenses in preseason? The defense is in training camp and the offseason and all of that, right? Like, yes, he can read those, but they can't hit him. They can't hit him. So as the season goes on, I still believe this, right? As the season goes on, Justin Fields is going to get better if you let him see these things.
But
whether he gets better to a point that is just mediocre.
But what if he doesn't? Because there's enough evidence to say that he might not. That's what I'm saying. If you can question it, you have to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. I'm giving Justin the benefit of the doubt that, hey, maybe it's Luke Getsy. I'm going to give Luke Getsy the benefit of the doubt and say, you know what, maybe Justin's not seeing what he's seeing.
But even if
I have to give it both ways.
Even if he's not,
I got to see it both ways.
But here's the thing. The one thing about Justin is even if Justin's not seeing what he's seeing, if all I give him to see is that, he got to do something. Either he's going to completely fail, and I can't say Luke Getsy didn't take. It's like Darnell said, give your playmakers an opportunity to fail. If I got plays called where my playmakers are making plays, and we did this with Mitch, right? When we'd be like, but on that last season, we'd be like, he got to throw that. Matt got that man coming off the screen.
You got to throw it.
You got to throw that ball. You can't sit there and wait on that. Like, this is what basic quarterbacks do. It got to a point at the end where, of course, right, when Matt leaves, the narrative and all of that is you find out behind the scenes he didn't want to help this young man get better, which I think is the scumbag part of that, right? But like,
and guess what? No one sits there and says, "Hey, his coach didn't like him." We just say he's trash.
Yeah,
which is the trash part of the narrative.
Well, I mean, he's gone to better coaches and was also trash.
I mean, he had one game. He had one game in Buffalo that was pretty good.
Yeah, like 6 games. No, it was terrible. At one game in Buffalo, he threw into quadruple coverage the first play. I mean, I said, "Hut on the other team."
Here's the thing about his situation. He's on such a short leash that if he makes a mistake, they're gonna yank him anyway, right? But he's had some games where he actually came in and won a game for the Steelers.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he's still trash. Don't get me wrong.
What he is, right? He's a great backup. He's the best backup you can have because guess what? He can come in and just be like, I can get this one.
He's still trash. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is like no one. You see how the narrative stuck already, and you say a head coach didn't want to coach him, stuff like that. You don't have that with Justin right now, and you still have gaps in proficiency.
But I think,
so when you see that, like the question isn't, I'm not saying this is what will happen. I'm saying if this continues, and there's evidence that continue either way, you have to be honest about that. The line got better, the defense got better, our QB got worse.
Let me ask you this:
if it continues,
well, I don't know if the line got better. Week 1,
he had more than enough time.
Week 1 was awful.
Well, the line got better from week 1 to week 2.
Yes.
I mean, different team, different team and stuff like that.
I get that.
But from week 1 to week 2, the line got better. From week 1 to week 2, the defense got better. Our QB got worse. You gotta be careful about that because now the question is:
do you trust this coaching staff to develop the next quarterback?
No,
I can't say that.
I can because here's the thing: in 2 years of them being here, right? Year 1, we thought we saw people progressing. All those people we thought we saw progressing now look worse.
You wonder why I can't say that? It's only 3-4 passes, right? Let's be real. But if Justin hits those strikes, DJ Moore has 150, 170 yards.
Yeah.
The whole momentum of the game shifts. That's what 3-4 accurate passes does in a football game.
100%.
It shifts the whole thing.
The blame ain't off of Justin.
You see what I'm saying?
But
so that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying I don't know because I'm still questioning if my QB can see it. Because if he can hit those throws, seriously, if he can hit those throws at the right time, Luke Getsy still could be trash. But I would sit there and be like, you know what? Maybe there's some madness to this method. No. And now I have to sit there and ride it out. But that's all I'm saying, because he's not throwing him open at all. But so at this point, it's like it's just the fact that I have to question it means I don't know. But the one thing I do know is Justin has the opportunity.
If he can hit those throws, I still come in today and say that's a trash scheme. That was a trash play call to finish the game. That was like I still come in here saying the same thing. I say DJ Moore had a heck of a game, but your system was still garbage. And that's why I'm saying, do you trust this staff to develop the next guy? I could see this scenario play out more than the scenario where Justin's out of here and they bring somebody else in. I could see the Bears pick up Justin. No, I don't even have to pick it up. This is for the 5th-year option. This is year 3 or 4.
This is year 3.
This is year 3. So you're going into 4th year, right? You're just trying to figure out if you need to pick up that 5th-year option. You're going into year 4 just flying by the seat of your pants. Basically, you're just like, I bet I can see a scenario where they go out there and draft the next quarterback that may be the guy.
Now I'm finna cook the chat. Y'all want to do this? I got the mic. Y'all
Nah,
got
but
y'all
wait,
can type.
nah,
Y'all
but
ready to do
wait,
it?
Let me finish.
Y'all ready to do this?
I can see the scenario
Y'all
where they
ready
go
to
out
do
there
this?
and draft the next quarterback. We actually got to get up out of here. It's 1:15. We've been on here for an hour and 15. We just flying.
I'm about to cook to you. Why could I do it? I can sit there and do it because I have enough tape of your QB not being able to make the throws. I have the tape that he's staring down wide open people and still double clutching. I have the tape that sit there and says that guess what? When he takes his week A drop, that he's not getting that ball out when he hits his back foot. I have the tape that sits there and shows. I don't know where I'm looking at this point. At this point, I don't care. Hey, at this point,
I don't know. You
hey,
just looking
listen,
around.
I got enough. I got enough tape. I got enough tape to sit there and say, hey, guess what? If you know what's different? If Justin Fields is sitting there looking at the right direction, but he's getting hit every time he's about to make that appropriate throw, then I can sit there and say, now your line is wacky and the scheme sucks. Because I can sit there and see he stares it down, has 5 seconds in the pocket. The ball is still not out. That's why I can sit there and still put it on your freaking QB. Guess what? I don't have to know that. I don't have to be a genius on that to see what's evidently there. Stop being a dick rider and actually understand what's happening in the game. Anyway, we're gonna keep moving that.
Wow.
I don't even know why he got so upset about this.
I just want.
He's so mad.
I'm not mad. It's just like, hey, listen. It's like, oh, you can't blame it on just. Yes, I can. We can blame it on all of them. And there's a reason you can do it. There's a rhyme reason as to why you can do it.
I think here's the thing, though. The one you're gonna stick with is gonna be the quarterback, no matter what, because I can go into he's here for you next year. No matter what, he's here.
I mean, you're not gonna get rid of him.
You're not gonna get rid of him, right?
But I don't think
so. You draft it. So you
but
draft
I do
it,
think.
So you draft the next QB. I don't trust these guys to develop the next QB if you can't develop this guy into Daniel Jones. I just don't.
I mean, he's gonna be Daniel Jones.
I mean, listen, if he's
Daniel Jones at this point.
He's not. Daniel Jones, 321 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Like that's
better than Justin?
That's what I'm. Justin had 211 yards, 1 touchdown.
So you're saying Daniel Jones is better?
Yesterday was.
So is Daniel Jones the reason?
But this is no. But here's my thing. I look at a Tua Tagovailoa situation where Tua was trash. Like legit. Like we all was like Tua is trash. You brought in an offensive mind, all of a sudden Tua ain't trash no more. Tua completing passes down the field at a consistent level. I already got the weapons in here.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Tua.
You just don't like how it looked.
No. Listen, I went back.
You just don't like how
I went back and looked at it. I went back and looked.
And I'm gonna tell you this.
He looks pretty good.
Mike McDaniel.
He got that boy cooking.
Because he always at minimum, he's always gonna give Tua. Hey, pass this ball to this dude because even if you get in the jam, this is gonna get us 5 yards.
But Mike McDaniel was an offensive genius.
And no, but what I'm saying is you're not gonna come back with your next quarterback and have Matt Eberflus here if he can't get this one right. So that's 100%. You're not bringing Luke Getsy back to run his system year 3 if he can't get.
Can I ask a quick question? What happens if they bench him?
Bench who?
Justin.
This season?
What happens if he gets benched?
He would have to be literally one of the worst quarterbacks.
He's already statistically down there.
No, but I mean, you would literally he would have to be to the point where you like we got to see Tyson
New York
Bates.
Jets. That would have to be New York Jets. Geno.
He would have to be Zach Wilson.
New York.
That's not bad. He would have.
Zach Wilson is the only QB underneath him.
New York Jets. Geno.
Zach Wilson's the only QB underneath him.
But we also 2 weeks in.
That's me. No. This is it. You're here. And then there's you.
But we also only 2 weeks here, right? Like this is the thing. And this
I'm not trying to overreact.
This is why I say this, right? At the end of the day, we could be a month into the season and look back and say somehow the Bears are freaking 2-2. And Justin Fields improved because I think there is something. This Ragin said this, and y'all know Ragin like to go on his tangents, but he said you can blame it on everyone, but it's not the players that decide to let their play in preseason or to scuffle with the offensive line go down. These are bad choices. I was not on. Luke wasn't even good at college.
Hey, listen, I'm definitely not a Tyson Badger dude. I'm definitely not.
Kid is a Tyson Badger.
I'm definitely not.
Hey, bro, I cooked the first dude that called in and was like, I think it's time to get us Bajan guy. Look, I was like, y'all are idiots, bro. The Bears aren't moving on from Justin Fields to go get Tyson Bajan.
2 weeks in, that's wild.
But I think realistically, here's the thing: you never know how the season's going to go, and if we're going based on just the eye test, guess what? There's a lot of garbage in the league based on the eye test that we don't think is garbage. Joe Burrow looks garbage.
Man, look like
Joe Burrow got his money. Joe Burrow looked like he playing quarterback in the T formation back in 1946.
Bro,
he looks bad.
Bro, he looks trash.
Pat Mahomes threw 2 games. looks bad.
Look mid. He look mid.
The NFL
that's for different reasons, though.
No.
Different what? Hey, you see him capping for what different reason?
Because Kelsey is back this week.
Nah.
He's still only at like under 200 yards pass.
Kelsey,
Deshaun Watson, game just started. Just do a pick.
They got Kelsey back, but you had all that time. You had all that time to go pay somebody, and you couldn't call D-Hop back.
I'm not putting D-Hop in the building with them. I'm sorry.
Hey, I love Joel. Joel said, look, guys, I've been through all levels of football: tag, two-hand touch, and flag. You gotta let it fly. That's one of the greatest calls on the post game show ever, bro.
Y'all should have saw his face.
Oh God, bro. But I think for me, and I want to kind of end it on this because at this point we heading into an hour and a half, and this is what this Bears team does to us, right? We normally only go an hour on this. For me, with this team, as we're moving forward, all you can do is try and get better on what you saw the week before. With Justin Fields, listen, if we go into week 3 and those same opportunities are there and we let it fly, the scale starts to skew. Right now, I'm looking 33, 33, 33. If those opportunities are there, it might move up to 40%. It might move up to 50%. You start to take less off of the other guys. But I also look at the NFL right now, and I see a lot of teams around the league that look god awful. And it's because of how they're doing things. Like Rajan said, you're not playing in preseason. Why are you not playing in preseason? Because it's 17 games. I need guys at the end of the season. So what does that do? The second or the first month of football is going to be gross. Right now, it's gross. It's as gross as it can get. The part that I don't like, and the part that, right, like if Justin Fields never improves, all right, we know that's bad. The part that I don't like is our scheme is gross to start the season. Your scheme has no right to be gross. Your coaches ain't out there running plays. Your scheme shouldn't be gross week 1 and week 2. So I just need to see a better scheme. If we're not seeing a better scheme, there's going to be changes in place. And yeah, those changes might include Matty E. Hate to say it. I like him as a guy. I don't know what he is as a leader, but it doesn't look like his team is buying into his principles right now. And realistically, I think that there are guys out there that could turn Justin Fields, even if he's just a Daniel Jones or a Josh Dobbs or whatever, into a guy that could be a 300-yard passer every week. Heck, Lamar Jackson can find a way to be a 300-yard passer half the season. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you're not gonna get me started, bro.
Hey, man, you know what I mean? Like, you got to see more, bro. You got to see more, and we got to see more from it. We'll be breaking this down all week, man. Y'all see this one got us fired up because we still sitting in here, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page. We do this Monday through Friday. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. For the pettiest man alive, JC in the back, and of course, the man, the myth, the legend, Stefan Adine, who's the biggest Daniel Jones fan in the world. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago.
Don't do that.
Super producer Joel Holt in the chat as well.
Trader.
Get back safe, bro.